Hello everyone, welcome back to the Wagner Podcast. We are here to discuss a problem in the Bay Area that has been affecting local communities of Richmond for a while now. I have a few guest speakers with us, and I'd like to ask them some questions, but first let's get into the background. Problems have been based around Chevron and other chemical plants have existed been on the rise since 1989. Chevron is one of the worst offenders. At their Richmond facility in particular, they store over 11 million pounds of toxic, explosive, and corrosive chemicals. Often this is stored extremely close to large population centers, and when they accidentally release the chemicals into the environment, it puts the safety and health of the community in danger. In 1993, Chevron made plans to increase its chemical storage and hazardous chemical storage in the Richmond area, stating that it was an attempt to comply with the Clean Air Act. The company says it was trying to develop a cleaner burning gas to reduce San Francisco's air population problem. Another reason this is such a huge problem is the fact that the surrounding population is primarily made up of minority groups. The reason this is an issue is because the population does not have the resources available to stand up to a company supergiant like Chevron. For example, the area around the refinery, zip code 94801, is 48% African American ethnicities, while another 23% consisting of a mix of Asian and Pacific Islander ethnicities. This same zip code also holds extremely low education and income levels, making it appear that this location may have been specifically singled out by Chevron. Alright, so let's get into the questions. First up, we have
Raghav Chabra.
Alright, Raghav Chabra
and Henry Gongora.
Alright, it's nice to have you on the podcast today. These two individuals have been living in the surrounding area close to the chemical plant, and they are here to talk about their experience. So how long has this been affecting you?
This has been affecting us since 1993 when Chevron made their first decision to increase their chemical storage and their hazardous chemicals.
How has this affected you? How has it affected you personally?
It has affected me personally through toxic chemicals getting released into the environment, endangering the lives of our local community.
When exactly did you begin to notice these problems?
I think the biggest key tell was when we were able to smell just these chemicals in the air, and we knew that something was clearly wrong. A lot of the times people were getting asthma, and we could tell that there was something wrong with our lungs, and we knew that something was wrong, and our biggest tell was Chevron because of their big decision that they made.
Are you currently working with any groups to mediate these problems and concerns?
Yes, we are actually. We are working with the West County Toxics Coalition.
So what actions have you taken so far to oppose Chevron?
Well, besides joining the group, we have organized peaceful protests outside of their storefronts just to let them know that we won't just let them roll over us. We want to fight up against them. We've gathered our own friends and family to go against this very terrible company.
So, we have a special speaker with us today. His name is?
Dr. Simon Phillipson.
So, Dr. Simon Phillipson, you are a chemical expert. What exactly do you have to say on the matter? Like, for example, what exactly are the possible health concerns that could arise from this issue?
Thank you, Ben. The possible health concerns are the many toxins that are released from Chevron's operations. Chevron stores over 11 million pounds of toxic, corrosive, and other damaging chemicals in the refinery, often very close to large population centers. We regard this as careless and reckless behavior that has potential to wreak havoc on the local population, who is majority poor African Americans. We see this as just frankly unfair.
All right. What toxins are affecting the people?
Common toxins in the refinery process include benzene, toluene, and xylene, which are volatile organic compounds. These volatile organic compounds contribute to formation of smog and are known to cause cancer in humans. So we don't want these compounds being anywhere near anyone.
Has Chevron met the emissions requirements they claim they are achieving?
Well, after a long back and forth and refusal to meet with local citizens, Chevron finally agreed to a $5 million agreement to pay for lowering local toxic levels and funding social justice projects in the community. This is a huge amount of money, but it came after much deliberation between the local community and Chevron itself.
Thank you. What kind of solutions do you think could be achieved to remedy or at least reduce the impact of toxic leaks?
That is a great question. Thank you. Solutions for keeping the number of toxic level leaks low really start at the local level. And when citizens hold the corporations accountable, and in this case Chevron, the company takes notice. We've seen the West County Toxics Coalition take matters into their own hands and pressure Chevron for change. It all starts at a local level when a group of concerned citizens are looking out for their community and their friends.
Thank you very much. Can I catch your name again one more time?
Dr. Simon Phillipson.
Dr. Simon Phillipson, thank you for coming on the show today. We have one more special guest. He is a official from Chevron, and he's going to talk his side of the story, because it's not fair just to speak for one side and not give any information or argument from the other side. We have him right here. What is your name?
Dr. John Black.
Dr. John Black. I noticed that your plant is in a location largely dominated by a minority population. Do you know why that is?
We choose areas that are best suited for our plant, and we do not discriminate against race or any other factors such as that.
Okay. In the span of 6 years, you had 304 accidents in that specific area. Why haven't you been able to prevent so many based on previous experience with such accidents?
We operate a very complex and complicated facility and ensure that it is up to the highest safety criterion.
All right.
There is no further comment.
Is it true that you keep certain parts of the plant open even though they are at risk of leaking?
In order to make sure that our oil is safe and that production continues, we must operate this system at its highest levels. This is common with refineries across the world.
Okay, how about a chance to prove you're trying to do something for the better? How does Chevron plan on addressing these problems and fixing them?
We go back to our advertising campaign, which asks, do people care about the environment? And the answer is yes, people do.
Thank you, very informational. Do you personally believe that Chevron is really trying to fix these issues and is taking the appropriate steps to resolve them?
We do. We absolutely do.
All right, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
We have no further comment on this time. Thank you for your time.
Well, thank you for joining me on the podcast. This has been the Wagner Podcast. Come back next week. We're going to have a special guest about the banana industry. Thank you very much for your time today, everyone. Ragav, Henry, and our scientist and our guest speaker from Chevron gave us a lot of information that was not already known. Have a wonderful day.